If your child is being bullied right now, I want to start by saying this clearly. You're not imagining it, you are not overreacting, and you're not weak for feeling the way that you do as a parent. Most parents don't come to videos like this casually. They come here late at night after another difficult day at school, after another conversation where their child says, "I'm fine," but you can tell they're not. And the hardest part isn't the bullying itself, it's watching your child slowly change, pull back and question themselves, losing confidence in ways you can't quite put into words. My name's Sebastian Bates and I've written 2 best-selling books on bullying. I've worked with over 100 schools and I've supported more than 20,000 families through this transition. But none of that is why you should listen to me. You should listen to me because I was bullied relentlessly for 4 years as a child, and everything I'm about to share with you today was forged there first. Before we go any further, just do me a quick favor. If this topic matters to you, if you're here because you want to raise a confident, resilient child in a difficult and changing world, then subscribe to this channel. You can ring the bell because this is not a one-off video. This is a long-term resource for parents who want real tools, not just slogans. And before we continue, I want you to comment one word below. If your child is currently going through bullying, type now. And if they went through bullying in the past, type past. I read the comments and I reply to all the comments, and it really helps me speak to what you actually need when I learn more about you. So let me take you back. I didn't grow up thinking of myself as the bullied kid. It didn't start with fists, it didn't start dramatically, it started quietly. Little comments, looks, being left out, that feeling of walking into school already tense, already bracing for something, even if you don't really know what it is yet. And at first I told myself it didn't really matter. But then it became consistent, and consistency is where bullying does its real damage. Over time, it escalated. The comments became sharper, the isolation became more intentional, and eventually it did become physical. But I want you to understand something very important as a parent. The worst part of bullying is almost never the words or the actions. The worst part is what happens inside the child. I started to question myself. I stopped putting my hand up in class, I stopped trying in situations where I might stand out, and I started shrinking, not physically, but emotionally. And when a child starts shrinking emotionally, they don't always cry. Sometimes they just go quiet. My parents, they love me deeply, and this part really matters because many of you will see yourselves here in this exact situation. They tried everything. They spoke to teachers. They reassured me, and they told me that it would pass. They told me to ignore it. They told me the bullies were just insecure and all well-intentioned, all loving, and none of it changed the actual dynamic that I was experiencing. Because no one had ever taught me how to stand differently, see the situation differently, or respond differently in the moment that mattered. And this is one of the most painful truths for parents to hear. Love alone doesn't stop bullying. Reassurance alone doesn't stop bullying. And even strong relationships don't guarantee your child will tell you everything. For 4 years, I carried it largely on my own. Not because my parents weren't safe, but because I felt ashamed that I hadn't handled it on my own. Children know that they're supposed to stand up for themselves. When they don't, they often internalize that as failure, and silence grows from that place. But then something changed. Martial arts entered my life, not as a miracle cure or some overnight success, but within 6 months, something started to shift in me. It wasn't because I learned how to fight, and that's the part people start to misunderstand. I didn't change because I became aggressive. I changed because I actually became more grounded. My posture changed, and the way I walked changed, the way I held eye contact changed, and I felt different inside. And when that internal shift happened, the external world that I experienced responded very differently. The bullying stopped. Not because the bullies suddenly became kind people, but because the dynamic no longer worked. That moment rewired how I understood bullying forever. It wasn't random, it wasn't mysterious, and it wasn't unbeatable. It basically followed patterns, and patterns can be trained for. That realization shaped my entire life, and it's why I went on to work with tens of thousands of children It's why I've stood in school halls giving assemblies after damage has already been done in my own life. It's why I've sat across from parents who are carrying guilt, anger and fear, often all at once. And it's why I refuse to give parents fluffy advice, because fluff doesn't protect children. What protects children is preparation. What protects children is confidence built through action. What protects children is teaching them how to stand literally and psychologically in this world. And that's what this video is. It's not a motivational talk, it's not theory, this is a training framework. Over the next 90 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the truths about bullying most people avoid, the mistakes that loving parents make without even realizing, and a 6-step system that changes the power dynamic so bullying doesn't repeat. Now, some of what I say will actually challenge you. It's going to challenge what you've been told before. And that's okay, because discomfort is often the first sign that you're learning something useful. But before we move on, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself this question honestly. Has your child already started to change in small ways? Have you noticed that they're less confident, more withdrawn, more reactive, or more self-critical? If the answer is yes, stay with me. If the story already feels familiar, then subscribe now, because the next section is where we dismantle the myths that keep parents stuck, even when they're trying their best. And in the next block, I'm going to explain what bullying actually is and why it's so often misunderstood, and why reacting emotionally, as natural as that feels, can accidentally make things worse. So, take a breath, we're just getting started. I just released a full no fluff workshop breaking down everything I know about bullying, the uncomfortable truths, the mistakes that parents make, and the exact 6-step system that has helped thousands of children transition through bullying, the stuff that actually works. So, if your child is being bullied, or you want to make sure they never become a victim of bullying, then watch the full video. Make sure you subscribe, because this is the work that changes your child's life.